would heal and you would feel better. They told you if you gave it time that you would heal. They told you if you just sit and waited, you will feel better. Who are they? They are all the people we talk to about grief. They're our pastor. They're our pastor's wife. They are the doctor. They're the therapist. They are our friend. They are our neighbor. They told you time would heal this. And it's not that just that they told you time is going to heal this grief. They told you with such conviction that you believed them. They told you because you trusted them. You have trusted them. And they told you that time would heal this. And they told you to stay busy. And you believed them and you trusted them. But you're still in pain. You trusted what they said and you're still in pain. And now you're wondering, what are you going to do next? And what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? And why are you still in pain? What could you possibly have done wrong with this grief that made it go wrong? Let me tell you something that might stop you in your tracks. Let me tell you this, and it's going to stop you in your tracks, and you're not going to believe it. It's absolutely going to be shocking. You're not failing. You're not failing at grief. Hey, Linda Lou, you're not doing this wrong. You are doing it exactly the way it was designed to do for you. Don't let anyone talk you out of that. You are not failing at it. We're just never given the truth. We were never given the truth. We were never given the truth that actually the tools and the actual truth that of what it takes to absolutely heal. Hey, Fly Girl, I'm doing well. Thank you. I walked today and I took the twins and I'm tired. My name is Sharon Brubaker and I'm the founder of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university and the place where healing begins. I teach you and walk with you. I teach an educational program on grief and loss, and I sit with you and I teach you step by step how to do it. For the past 18 years, I have helped women, some women in the deepest grief they have ever felt. Some women didn't know that the grief was that deep because they would never allow themselves to go down there. And I learned this most of it I learned on my own. I've gotten certified in multiple programs, and I put together my own program from their news. Friends, there are heavy hitters out there right now who have books, who are on every speaking journey, names that if I said it, you would know them right away. And they are absolutely out there teaching us that we will feel like this for the rest of our life. And that is a lie. That's a lie. I'm standing before you, and I do not have the grief that I had when Austin died. I don't have the grief from when my dad died. I don't have the grief from when losing my very best friend, Sharon. And when I say the grief, I'm talking about the pain. There is no grief pain in my heart. I miss them, but it is different than the pain. Here's what I know, and here's what I want to talk to you about. We've been lied to about the grief. We've been told this story over and over that if we just give it time, that it will start to feel better. But hey, here's my question to you. If we're supposed to give it time, right? How much? How much time are you supposed to give it until you feel better? 6 months? 1 year? 10 years? There are women in this group that have grieved for over 5 years and they're still grieving. They still feel the pain of grief. So tell me, what is the right answer? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? Some people come to me at 3 weeks. And they say, I cried already. I should be over this grief. How much time are we supposed to? Aida, is that good? How much time are we supposed to give it? I actually have you up. Let me move it. Oh, that made you sick. That made you dizzy. Fly Girl says it's been 5 months and I'm crying even more. And that's expected. That's expected. Hold on one second. I think I need to move the board, not the camera. I'm going to move the board. Hold on. There. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to make you dizzy. Time is not going to heal it. Time alone will not heal this. Time alone will not heal this pain. It is action. It is the action steps. It's the action steps that you take within the time. Time alone is just sitting around waiting. That's just time. Everybody's got that. Everybody can do it. Time alone is not going to heal this. It is the action that you take within time. The action steps. Doing something to move the grief. Coming here is an action step. Showing up in study hall is an action step. Grief study hall, which is a grief support group where we come and we talk about the grief. Doing processing the pain of grief, the program that I have, and going to Honor Society is an action step. Talking about your grief is an action step. Sitting around and just crying is not going to do it. It won't do it. It won't move it. It won't move it along. It's just going to prolong it. You were told that if you wait long enough, the pain would fade. So we wait, and it will fade. Fly Girl says she's been waiting 5 months. Is it fading? It's been 3 months. Sometimes I'm good, then I break again. Yes, so grief ebbs and flows. We know that. It ebbs and flows. Sometimes you're up here and you're laughing. You're going to laugh on a grieving experience. And sometimes you're down here and you can't get out of bed. Sometimes you're up here and you're eating vanilla ice cream. As much as I talk about vanilla ice cream, you guys probably think, man, she sure does eat a lot of vanilla ice cream. I don't. Sometimes you're eating vanilla ice cream, and then sometimes you look at his picture and you can't move. It ebbs and flows. You're told to avoid it. Don't think about it. Don't think about the grief. Don't think about the grief. Don't think about it. Keep busy. This equals keep busy. Keep busy and the pain will subside. Keep busy. You need to keep busy so you're not thinking about it. You need to push it down. You got to push it all the way down. All of these go together. Right? You were told that grief is something that you have to live with forever, and that's the lie. That right there is a lie. You have to live with this forever, and none of it is true. Grief takes over your entire body. It affects your thoughts, your sleep, your ability to make decisions, your physical health, and your relationships with others. It affects the relationships with the people that are still here. Grief is not just sadness. It's not. Hey, Miss Erica, I've been missing you. It's sadness. It's heartbreak. It will not be ignored. As much as you want it to, grief will not be ignored. And I'm telling you, you're never going to get the relief that you deserve. You're never going to get the relief that you deserve, hey, Angelica, from this grief by just tiptoeing around it, by just looking for your grief quotes every day. Let me tell you about grief quotes. They're amazing. They absolutely are, because they put the words in your mouth that you hadn't thought of. I mean, how many times have I heard grief comes in waves? I hear it at least once a day. It comes in waves because they saw it in a grief quote. And now they're quoting it because it meant something to them. It explained something to them. They're like, oh my gosh. But grief quotes are just quotes. They're not what's going to happen to you to help you move the grief. Healing doesn't happen through tips that people are giving you and quotes. It happens when you finally decide it's time to do the real work. When you finally decide that it's time to get into the action, hey, Tammy, that's when it's going to make a difference. Pauline, how you doing, girl? I was just thinking of you. Here's what I wanted to offer you. I want to offer you a new way to look at this. I want to offer you a new way to look at the grief. I want you to hear me when I tell you this. You're not failing. You just never been given the truth. You just never been given the tips. You were handed platitudes instead of tools. You were surrounded by silence instead of support. You were told to move on, to be strong. You got to be strong for the kids. Or even worse, you've been told multiple times that you should have been over this already. And that's the world we live in. And that, my friend, is so incredibly sad. Not only is it sad, it's sort of disgusting that that's all that the world has to offer us. One that expects your healing to happen without teaching. One that rushes you through the grieving. They rush you through excruciating pain. You are in excruciating pain. Your heart is absolutely broken. And they're trying to rush you through it because they want their life back to normal. Then they tell you how strong you are, while the entire time you're hiding it. The entire time you're crying and hiding it. I've been doing this work for nearly 2 decades. I've been helping women, sitting with women, helping them process the grief, the loss. This is not a subject that I came to lightly. I didn't just pick this up and say, oh, you know what? I should be the grief lady. Because let me tell you, this shit is hard. It's hard as hell. I'm going against the grain. I'm the only one out here solo by myself saying, they lied. It's not true. But every now and then I get a beautiful lady like Miss Pauline who trusts me, who comes in, who says, okay, crazy lady with no hair, let me see what you got. And I sit with her and I love her and I gently help her come back. I didn't choose this work from a distance. I didn't choose this work because I thought it was going to be fun. I remember the exact time that my knees hit the ground and everything inside me turned to black. And I thought somebody was coming with the answers. I thought somebody was going to come with the answers and they were going to help me. But they never showed up. And just like for me, when I thought someone was coming, ain't nobody coming for you either, sister. And I'm sorry. And that's just the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. You've got to pick yourself up and go, Sharon's right. I got to figure this out. I say this a lot, and every time I say things over and over again, I start it with I say things a lot because some of you have heard it, but I want to say this. When Austin died, I didn't realize I'd be given the most amazing gift in the world. And the most amazing gift in the world that Austin left me with was grief. Austin left me with grief. And he left me with grief that I didn't know what to do with. He left me with grief that I went on a mission to figure it out. Not for me, but for Erica, because I really wanted to help Erica. So I went on this mission to find out how I could fix her, because in my mind, she was broken. And I wanted to figure it out. It took me 9 months before I got us to the first program. And when I finished that program, I knew that I was going to do grief work. I didn't know it then. I didn't know it that day. That day we finished on a Saturday. On Sunday morning, when I called Erica and she said, "Hell yeah, this worked," I said, the next thing out of my mouth, I said, and I whispered it, I was like, we have to help women. We have to help other women. What if there are women out there like us? I couldn't even imagine. You guys, let me tell you, I couldn't imagine that there would possibly be other women out there who didn't know how to grieve. And so this gift that I give and I share with you every time I'm standing up here talking is Austin giving back to you. But then I lost my father. I lost my second nephew, Donovan. And I lost my best friend. And each and every time I was cracked open like it never been done before. And each and every time I learned something different about grief. Each and every time they were so totally different. The experience was so totally different. Each one taught me something new about how deep you can go in pain, about how much laughing you can actually do on the grief healing journey, because we laughed a lot when my dad died. But there's parts about grief that no one ever talks about. How lonely it is, how devastating it is, how much hate for the world comes in your heart because people don't see you. They don't see you for who you are. They don't see you for the griever. They don't see you as a woman that's totally broken down. One of the beautiful sisters in here yesterday said, someone told her, "I know exactly how you feel," which, side note, the most disrespectful thing you can say to anyone is, "I know exactly how you feel," because the truth is you don't. Her husband has died. This woman's husband has died. Her friend, who is sitting next to her husband, says to her, "I know exactly how you feel." This is the stuff that makes us mad. This is the stuff that makes us want to punch them right here, right in the throat. She said she looked at her and she goes, "How can you know how I feel? Your husband is right here." We want to understand other people's grief. We say that we understand, but the truth is we don't. Each one of these losses taught me something different. And here's the parts that no one talks about. They don't talk about how you have to pretend to make them feel okay. How you're out there pretending to make them feel okay. How all you want to talk about is your person and say his name, but they are not giving you the space. And when I tell you you need to talk, ladies, I'm telling you, you need to talk about the grief, but not just the grief. You need to talk about all of the things of the grief. What it was like to be at the funeral home. What it was like to pick out a casket for your child. Who showed up for you? Who didn't show up for you? The out-of-body experience that you had. You're literally watching yourself at the funeral going, "I'm at my child's funeral." You can't even believe it. Your brain cannot even fathom this. But don't worry, because they're coming with something for you. They're coming with something for you. "Oh, honey, you got to give it time. Time is going to heal this. I know it's hard right now. I know that this is really hard. I know that it's devastating, but in time, you will feel better." If that's not the biggest lie we have ever been told, the biggest lie, time does not heal anything. And you have to tend to this pain. You have to tend to the pain. You have to go after it. Time doesn't heal a broken bone. It doesn't heal a broken heart. It is not going to fix this pain. Time does not heal a bleeding heart. You need to take care of it. And time without intention, intentionally going after it, is just going to become distance. It's just going to become distance. Day 1. Day 90. Ten years. If you just sit here and wait for time, this is going to look exactly like this. The only difference with this is the grief is going to be down here. It's going to be almost unrecognizable, but it is still there. It is unrecognizable, but it is still there. And here's the thing. You're at 10 years, you're functioning. You're living your life. You may be remarried. You may have had another child. You moved. You're in a new house. You are absolutely functioning because you did what they said and you gave it time. But you're walking down the street or you're driving your car and you see something that seems familiar to you about your person, or you hear a song that reminds you of them. And I'm telling you, you will touch that grief that is still there. And it will come out, depending on how deep the thing is, it will come out as if it just happened. Grief, the only thing that time does for us is give us distance and help it go dormant. That's why they say time, because they know that when they just left it alone, the time just settled. It settled the grief. They weren't crying as much. Because here's what happens. You cry here, you cry here, you cry here. Thank you, loves. You cry here, you cry here, then you cry here. Then you cry here. The only thing with time is going to be distance. The distance in between the crying and thinking about your person gets further and further apart. And why does this happen? Because you've been forced to pretend. You're forced to pretend that everything is okay. And the more you pretend, the more distance comes in your grief. This is not healing. This is grieving. That's why some people are still in the same amount of pain 5, 10, 20 years after their loss. They are. Hey, Bella Red. They waited for time to heal, but time didn't know how to heal, and so they just put it down. That's the number one lie. The second lie that goes along with time is to just keep it busy. Distract yourself, push through, go back to work. Keep doing the thing. I know you're exhausted, but that's going to ease up. You try to outrun it. You try to go as fast as you can. Grief doesn't get smaller because you ignore it. Grief doesn't get quieter because you ignore it. It actually gets louder. It is dormant and it gets louder. It sneaks into your chest, into your sleep, into your eating, into your relationships, into your body. Grief that is avoided does not disappear. That's why so many of you are still walking around with anxiety, with stomach issues, with chronic fatigue, with brain fog, and you haven't even connected it back to your grief. You haven't connected, wow, maybe this has to do with my grief. Grief hurts. It hurts. And it absolutely sucks. It sucks, but it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose for you. If you love deeply, you are going to grieve. If you hate deeply, you are going to grieve. If you have a feeling that you're just not as happy or excited that you want to be in your life, you are going to grieve. And any loss that you've never taken care of, being bullied in the 3rd grade, having your boyfriend break up with you in front of the whole class, loud, and embarrass you, you're going to grieve. Getting fired from that job when you were 18 years old, you're going to grieve. All of that pain from the past is going to attach right here because it doesn't know what to do. It just goes dormant and dormant and dormant and dormant. There's a lot of times I'm working with grievers and they tell me things like, I've been thinking about my boyfriend from high school. It's because of the grief. My teacher, I had this teacher that I absolutely loved. She changed my life. She was the most amazing teacher in the world, Mrs. Murphy. She taught law. I was a senior in high school. She literally helped me fill out my college applications. I love this woman like she was my friend. And I started searching for her a few years back and I found out she had died. My heart is just broken. But we don't stop to deal with the Miss Murphy law. We just keep going. There are 47 or more known losses that we know for a fact will attach to you. Death and divorce are the most popular. And if you've come across it and you are an active griever right now, active griever within 1 to 5 years, I'm going to say you're actively grieving somebody within 1 to 5 years, any losses from your past, we're going to attach to that and you're going to feel it. And the third lie, so I gave you the first two lies. One is time will heal. The second was keep busy. And the third lie is you'll always carry this pain. And this is the one that pisses me off the most. Because you won't. You won't always carry this pain if you go after it. You should always carry the love. You should be looking at the pain. And this is the work, guys. This is the best way I can describe the work. And I've never done this before, so help me out. Stick with me. This is me. That's Austin. Austin was 10 years old. Austin drowned at the lake in 2006. One of my losses. I don't remember, you guys, but I think I was like 43. I have to figure it out. I was somewhere around there. I had a relationship with Austin from the day that his mom conceived him. I can remember where I was. I remember exactly where I was standing when she told me she was pregnant. I absolutely remember that. I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing when she was pregnant. I went through the entire pregnancy of Austin with her. On the day that Austin was born, I got to the hospital one hour after he was born. He was 1 hour old. I got to the hospital. Northridge, California. I remember it was my first time having to go into the camera and say my name and say who I was there for. And she had to put a list of who could come in. It's my first time seeing that because my kids were much older. We didn't have that then. The doors just swing open and anybody could come in and out. And I went into the room and she couldn't really get him attached to the boob. And I was helping her with the breastfeeding. And then I stayed there all day. And then we went home. And then her milk came in. And it was the first time I'd ever heard, because I called the La Leche League and I spoke to someone there. And it was the first time this lady told me to get cabbage leaves. And I went and got a head of cabbage and we put the cabbage leaves on there and it helped her. And I was there. And let me tell you something. We used to say this about Austin all the time. She had to force him to stop breastfeeding. And the kid loved boobs. Even when he was 10 years old, if he was talking to you and you were a lady, he'd be like, we're like, stop that, Austin, it's creepy. Okay. When Austin died on June 17th, my relationship with Austin ended. my heart was absolutely broken. I was not broken. My heart was broken. One of the things that I had to do first was talk about it. I had to talk about what it was like. And when I tell you you have to talk about it, it's that out of body experience. I just said this earlier. I'm at my child's funeral. I just shared that. But I want to tell you guys, I was sitting at the funeral and I was like, I'm at the funeral for Austin. Like that's what kept replaying in my head. One of the things that Eric and I do, and we did this innately and we didn't know, we talked every day about this loss for almost 9 months. Erica cried a lot. I did not. I was hiding my grief. And talking and not hiding, but expressing your grief is the next important thing that you have to do. You have to express the grief. You have to express the pain. You have to allow the pain. You have to allow the pain to be there. Excuse me. And then the last thing you need to do is a review. I had to do a review of my entire relationship with Austin. And he was only 10 years old. I only had him for 11 years, right? I had to look at my relationship with Austin. How much did I love him? What was missing? What did I still need to say? What was hurting me? And friends, this is the part that I teach, and it's done in a specific way. And once I did this full review of my relationship, I was able to do my completion work. I was able to look at my relationship with Austin, and I got to answer all these questions. And I also talked about all of this stuff. I talked about it with my grief specialist, and we broke it down. And we looked at that and did the review of it. And it was the very next day for me that I felt the relief. Grief is about all of the things that went unsaid, all of the things that are still unsaid. I had a beautiful lady. I'm doing some work with her this week on her relationship. And I was just asking questions, just random questions. I want to tell you guys, it was one of the most amazing experiences for me. Because I was like, oh, well, how did that happen? She would tell me something, I would ask her another question about it. And it was like we looked under there. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then I'd ask her something else. And it was like, oh my gosh, look at that. Everything was connecting to something. We were connecting the dots. We were connecting the dots because it kept connecting to other things. When I tell you, without doing this review, you will be incomplete with your person. You are incomplete with your person because there are things you need to say. You are incomplete with the pain because you need to look at it. You will not always carry this pain. And what I'm trying to tell you is that we go after the grief pain. I still remember Austin. I still talk about Austin. I still share Austin. What we want to go after is that pain in your heart, and that's all related to this. Friends, if you go to the link in my bio and click on the link that says click here for hope, I made a video and it says, watch this video. I think it said something like that because watch this video. I'm going to tell you why I did that. Because a lot of people go up to the bio and they're like, I can't find this. I can't find that. And I told my assistant, just watch this video so people know. I want you to go and watch that video if you get a chance. It is about the Forever Changed Grief Intensive Weekend. But I want you guys I want to introduce you to Austin. I want to introduce you to Donovan. I want to introduce you to Sharon and my dad. And it's in that video. But I want you to pay particular attention to this. How I describe them. Look at my face. Look at me talking about them. That's what recovery looks like. Recovery looks like you love them. You spend time with talking about them. It's not breaking you down. You're not feeling the tug of grief in your heart. The Forever Change Grief Intensive Weekend is where we're going to do this, where we're going to do the review. And I want to ask you this. If you get off this video right now, what tools do you have and what plan do you have for healing the brokenness in your heart? Who taught you how to grieve? Who gave you the information on how to grieve? Who taught you how to do this? Because I'll tell you who taught me. My parents taught me. And what did I see my parents do? Prior to me going out and finding this, what did I see my parents do? I saw them be very strong. You guys, my dad was an amazing, amazing person. My mother is an amazing person. And together they were an amazing couple. I can't even tell you. I'm going to tell you, we call them the death squad because it seemed like all they were doing for so long was going to funerals. My parents got called. They were the first ones called all the time. They were pillars in their church. They were called all the time. It was not uncommon for my dad to grab a ham, make a potato salad, get bread, be the first ones at the house, support the people, go take the people to the funeral home, help them plan. My dad was an amazing support person. And I saw him time and time again show up as strong, the person who was going to do this. That's what I saw. That's what they taught me about grief. They did not tell me that grief breaks your heart. They didn't tell me that I'm going to be sad. They didn't tell me that I'm going to cry. They didn't tell me that. Not only that, my parents were very much stuck in their traditional ways that we're from Louisiana, and those Southern old ways, like you have to do a viewing, you have to do it this way. Yeah, they got stuck in that, and this is how everybody else does it, and this is how we're going to do it. And that's how they did the grief. This is how everybody else does it. We're going to be the first with the food. We're going to show up, and we're going to keep calling them. We're going to be there for 2 or 3 weeks, and then after that, they're going to be on their own to figure out the grief. It's not that way anymore. Times have changed. Times have changed. You are looking at me right now, live in my office in Frisco, Texas. Times have changed. And guess what else has changed? Grieving. The way we grieve has changed. We don't do it the way we used to anymore. We're not going to just sit around and wait. There is an exact science to grieving. Prior to COVID, so I am making a huge shift in my business right now because it's time. Prior to COVID, Erica and I taught grief retreat weekends. And they are amazing. And they're done in person. And they're absolutely fabulous. And prior to COVID, that's what we did. And we're bringing it back. Forever Change Grief Healing Intensive. I didn't say retreat. This is going to be a sacred space. A space where you want to stop pretending. You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared because it's going to take a lot of energy to get through the weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 very powerful days. We're going to guide you step by step. We're going to talk about emotions. We're going to talk about the physical aspects of it, the mental layers of grief. You're going to uncover patterns that you didn't even know you got stuck in. You're going to finally be able to talk about the pain out loud in a safe space where you're not going to be judged, not pitied. You're going to be heard, understood, and listened to. You're going to spend time in a community with other women. So if you go to the link in my bio and click on the link that says click here for hope, I put a video in there, which I watched today, and I'm going to make some changes to, but watch the one that's in there now. And I think it says watch this video. I mean, I made it as plain and simple as possible. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to my core that we have people that are suffering in grief. That we have people that are suffering in grief. Pauline, what do you mean by TikTok? What do you mean, Pauline? Becky says, I watched the video earlier today. Oh, you did? I'm going to change. I've thought a couple things I want to change on it. I'm going to re-record it. It's not, the main part of the video is going to stay the same. Just a couple words. Yes, in TikTok, Pauline. So the questions we have to ask are, who taught us how to grieve? Where did we learn how to grieve? What tools do we have? Yes, it's in TikTok. What tools do we have for grieving? I'll give you the link right here, Pauline. Hold on. What tools do we have for healing? Where did you learn how to do this? For most of us, we're just trying to figure it out. We're just like trying to figure it out on our own. I can't get the link. Go to the top, and there's a link there that says click here for hope. And when you click on that link, it should open up. Flaw Girl says, people who aren't grieving don't understand and also say cruel things to us who are grieving. Why? One is, this is what I believe to be true. One, they don't know what to say. And so they say stupid shit. They don't know what to say, and they want to make you feel better. People say the stupidest things when you're grieving because they want to make you feel better. And yes, it is mostly because they don't know what to say. So here's you grieving, and here's your brain on grief. But your friend, oh, bless her heart, is going to come in, and she sees you. She sees you grieving. Give her some arms and legs. She sees you grieving. She sees that you have this big giant hole right there in your heart because you keep talking about it. And instead of her saying, hey, girl, how goes the battle today? How's the grief going? Tell me about it. What does this feel like? Okay? Instead of her saying that, which speaks directly to your heart, she starts talking to your brain. Because they don't know what to say, because we have not been taught how to respect a grieving experience. And they say things like, give it time. He wouldn't want you to do that. Aren't you over it yet? Everything they're saying, it goes in here. You have an angel in heaven. You're so strong. You didn't even know him that well. Isn't this kind of crazy the way you're grieving? So whatever they say is designed to go here. They speak only to here. And this is the safe space for them. Most of the things probably should make you feel worse. She says, some of the things they say make me feel worse. It's most of the things they say should make you feel worse because they're only designed to go here. They're not speaking here. So let me tell you about this. I see you. You and I meet in the store, and you say, my best friend Ian passed away in January. Friend, my heart to yours. I can't even begin to understand what this is like for you. I'll never understand this. How are you doing? How's the grief going? Friends, side note, ask them about the grief. Hit it head on. How's the grief going? Are you still crying? What are some of the things that you've discovered about yourself in this grief that you didn't know? Here's the other thing about showing up for someone. Don't touch them. We see a griever and we immediately want to start touching them. Why am I telling you not to touch them? It's not that you'll never touch them. I just don't want you touching them in the beginning, especially if the griever starts to cry. Because if you touch them, if you rub them, if you hug them, if you pat them, they are subconsciously going, oh, she wants me to stop. Don't hand her tissue. Let her grieve right there. You're setting up the safe space. Let her grieve. If I reach over and go, oh, what does that mean? That means wipe it up. It's time to be done. Let's move on. She's a grown-ass adult. If she wants snot running down her nose, let her. Don't do anything. There's a lot of grievers do say that, Cassandra. She says, I don't want to be touched. A lot of grievers don't want to be touched because the bandwidth for all of that stuff is gone. I remember going up to them for hugs. You can go up for a hug. If you're the griever, you can go up to someone and say, can I have a hug? Now, once the griever has shared all of their stuff and you can see that they're kind of coming to the end, then you will offer them a hug. May I give you a hug? But when the griever starts to tell their story, I can't sleep at night. I miss him so much. He wasn't supposed to be on that flight. He wasn't supposed to be on that flight. How? Why? My brain cannot wrap around how he got on that flight. That wasn't supposed to be. Right? So we're saying that out loud. And your job is to listen. When you think the thought, he wasn't supposed to be on that flight, what feelings are you having? What feelings are you having, my love? That's how we show up for the griever. We show up as hearts. We show up as hearts as ears, with ears. We don't show up like this. Oh, well, she said, he said, oh, well. Throat punches. I'm telling you, throat punches. I got that from my daughter. Hold on one second. Someone told me yesterday he's in a better place. That's also here, better place. God will never give you more. God will never give you more than you can handle. I'm not finishing the sentences, but that's it. He's in a better place. Not just a friend, not a friend, just an acquaintance. I almost laughed. Robin, one of the things that people would say to Erica, and she lost 2 boys, he's in a better place. Well, he's in a better place. And she will look at them and says like, his place is here with me. I'm his mother. I'm supposed to be taken care of. His best place is right here next to me. Don't tell me that they're in a better place. Don't tell me at least they're not suffering. Now, if you, the griever, decides that, that's okay. But you're the one who gets to decide it, not me. I remember wanting my dad to not be in pain anymore. I wanted him to transition so he wasn't in pain. But afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? So one of the things, Flower Girl says, when they responded to me as, oh, well, I couldn't believe how heartless they were to me about Ian. So one of the things that you can do, if you know someone has shown up for you over and over again, and they're completely going intellectual, and they say to you, hey, girl, how's the grief? But you know for a fact that this person is not your person, I would love to talk about it, but now's not the right time. But you're going to start with thank you. Thank you. Thank you for asking. When you say the word thank you, you put the boundary up. Thank you for asking. I really want to get into that, but now's not the time. I'll follow up with you, I promise. Thank you for asking. You can even go lean in and touch their hand. Thank you so much for asking. I really want to get into that, but now's not the time. Second, thank you for that. I just want you to know it wasn't helpful. When someone says, oh, well, when someone says he's in a better place, thank you. I just want you to know that wasn't helpful. I mean, really put it back on them. Sable says, what do you do with back-to-back unexpected grief? You grieve it one at a time. You grieve it one at a time. Hear me out, Sable. We are all grievers. We are all going to have grieving experiences. We are all going to have multiple grieving experiences throughout our life. And for some of us, they come really close together. The losses that I describe and I share here are first an aunt that I lost when I was 16. I mostly share her in the program. I lost Austin in 2006. 2013, I lost my dad. 2015, we lost Donovan. In 2017, I lost my best friend, Sharon. So that I had multiple losses. And because I'm a grief specialist, I was doing my work all along. Right? So I was doing my work all along. When I teach you this process, you get to do your work. You do your work all along. But someone says here, I lost 3 people in 2024. So let's say this all happened to me in 2024. One of the programs, one of the assignments that I teach is we do a review of all of this. You and I are going to go in and look at each and every one of these. And then you and I, but you get the ultimate say, are going to decide which one you're going to start on. So this will be your first one. And then maybe this will be your second. It's based on the heaviness of the grief. How much grief is in that relationship? And if they seem, this is the truth, if they seem almost the same or kind of comparable, or, you know, I really loved him and I really loved her. You love them all, right? But this one has this one has that. You and I will decide together. And they almost seem the same. We always start at the beginning. So the beginning can be the first one you lost. The beginning can be your father, because you had your relationship with him first. So it's not uncommon for you and I to kind of juggle it and see how it goes. I typically know how I like to see it, which is always at the beginning. But if you came to me and you lost your best friend, Sharon, and then you and I start talking, and then you start sharing, well, I also lost Austin, I lost my dad, I lost Donovan, then I want to look at all of those, because you need to grieve them all. Because look at this heart. Look at all the pain that's in there. We got to go after all of this. We can't just do the 1 or the 2 or the 3. We got to go after all of it. I'm not going to leave you just sitting there trying to figure out how to do this grief. I'm not going to leave you just trying to figure out the grieving alone. I want to know this. If your house caught on fire, when are you going to leave? Are you going to leave when that part of the room, once that starts, you're going to grab everything you can? And once it gets to that wall, then you're going to leave? This is what I'm going to leave? Are you going to leave once you call 911? Or once the bed gets hot, then I'm going to leave? I was sharing this yesterday about it being a wound. When the wound happens, grief is no different. We don't wait until we are drowning to do the work. You don't have to hit rock bottom. This is not doing a drug rehab program. You don't have to wait till you're at rock bottom. You can come in at any moment and we can do the work. If you've decided that you're tired of just surviving, if you're not living, if you want more than I'm just functioning, then you go after that. If you're ready for a new way to live, even if it feels scary. But most importantly, I think one of the things that I have absolutely figured out is that this grief needs to be done in community. It needs to be done in community. And I'm shifting back to going back to us getting together and loving one another. Thank you, Sable. You're very welcome. And anyone out there is going, oh, I don't know if this is going to work for me. Let me tell you what I know. This is what I know to be true. It works when you show up for yourself. It works when you stop waiting. When you take that first brave step, it works for you. Because healing is not reserved for the lucky. Oh, she's so lucky. It's available to anyone who says, I'm ready. Okay. Grief Weekend, July 24th through the 27th, Dallas, Texas, right near the airport. We're going to be at the hotel, the Marriott Residence Inn. There is a shuttle. You don't need to rent a car. Go to the link in my bio that says click here for hope. Watch the video. And I believe it says watch the video. Gives you all the information that you need. You're going to be in Puerto Rico? Girl, I have another one. Don't worry. I'll have another one. You are definitely, I would be honored to work with you, with anybody here. But some of you have been coming in, and I've been getting to know you and knowing your beautiful family, and I'd be honored to have you here. Actually, I want to go to Puerto Rico. That sounds like fun. So, oh, that's fun. I want you to stop waiting, for the right time. There is no right time. There is no right time other than I can't do this anymore. There is no right time. Are you coming? Are you coming for the help? That's the key. Are you coming for the help? Friends, the understanding what grief is and what purpose it serves in your body is huge. Understanding what it's doing to you is absolutely huge. Wow, look at that. A beach. Understanding the purpose that grief serves, doing the review of your person, invaluable. I'm telling you, it's so invaluable. Absolutely. All right, my loves. I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. No, what is today? Thursday. I'll see you Saturday morning at 7 a.m. I go to the link in the bio, watch the video. I want you to pay particular attention to the way that I describe them. The way that I describe Donovan, Austin, my dad, Sharon. Look at my face. See what true healing looks like. You'll see it in that video. I love you all, and I will see you on Saturday. Have a great day. Yes, I won't be back tonight. I will be back on Saturday. Also, the next weekend is in September. The next weekend, there's one in September. So for all of you that are traveling to Puerto Rico to party with your family, all right, friends, I love you, and I'll see you at the next live. All right, bye.